That man, attorney Dan Newlin, is with us right now, donated $1 million to the victims' families. First, I'll shake your hand for doing that. That's
Thank you,
incredible.
Jesse.
What made you want to do that?
Well, I got a phone call at 4:30 in the morning from one of the president's top aides, and I took the call, and she said the president is adamant that he wants to set up a GoFundMe. It was a little bit, you can imagine, 4:30 in the morning, but wanted to set up a GoFundMe and wanted to give back. He was concerned about the victims. He was very concerned about the family that lost their loving husband and father. And as I listened to her and got a real deep understanding of how much the president wanted to help this family, I said, well, what does the president really want to do? She said, he just wants you to make the first donation on GoFundMe to start the way, Dan. Will you start the way? I said, absolutely, but what is he trying to raise? He said, he really wants to raise $1 million. And I thought to myself, here's a man that was almost murdered, assassinated, whether it was shrapnel or a bullet, right, doesn't matter. He was shot at many times. He almost lost his life. Why should he be concerned about raising money for the family? Let me just take that worry off your shoulder, and I will give the $1 million to Corey's family and also give support to the victims. What
was the response from the families, and how are they doing, if you can tell us?
That's sort of a personal matter, and I haven't. The families, the president has told me that it's possible that he would go back out to Butler, and I hope that I can meet with the families personally there and really talk to them more about, how this, about their loss, and let them know that they have a friend and a fellow American. Because when the president called me, I didn't really look at it. I didn't really look at it like, this is a presidential give back. Yeah. I looked at it truly like, this is one American that was fighting for democracy. He was out there supporting a presidential candidate, and he shielded his family from this, horrific loss. They could have died. The daughter could have died. And I was just really proud as an American to give back to another American. And I think that's what President Trump was asking for is, Dan, as an American, he was reaching out for help. And I'm really honored. It wasn't Democratic, wasn't Republican. It was just giving back to another American.
Yeah, no, he was a true hero that day. By the way, were you surprised when the president at the RNC took out your check? Did you know that he was going to announce you, or did you want it to be anonymous?
No, absolutely not. It was, first off, no one would have ever known that I gave that donation. Right. I didn't put it out. I didn't discuss it. I just brought the check to the RNC, and I gave it to the president's aide, and I said, by the way, this is what I had promised that I would give to the family. And she told me, I'm sure the president will deliver it on your behalf. So when he pulled the check out, I was in a box upstairs and enjoying the RNC and with, filled with electric and the excitement that we saw. And it wasn't a moment that I smiled. It wasn't a moment that I was like, it was a chilling moment because it really reflected what this check or what this really meant, not just to Corey and his family, or to the family of, what it really meant to America. Yeah. About us as Americans giving back to help another American.
Dan, you might not know this. I cover a lot of different crimes. And with a lot of crimes, obviously, the victims are left behind. And there's usually a GoFundMe set, and we always try to promote it as best as we can. In my career, this is the fastest I've ever seen, not only it meet the goal, but exceed the goal, and you are a huge part.
If I can say one thing, the people that really are the heroes of the GoFundMe and are the people that gave $50, $100, $1,000. Yes, I stepped up in a big way because I've been able to live the American dream and give back. But the people that stepped up to raise $6 million, every one of you, you're a hero.
Dan, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, coming up.
Thanks so much for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.